can tell. You are just a drug addict. You are a pathetic junkie.
Breaking Bad is a critically acclaimed show about a chemistry teacher named Walter White who struggles to make ends meet. And after being diagnosed with cancer, he then resorts to selling drugs to make more money. In this show, we see him partner with Jesse Pinkman, an ex-student of his who then turned into an amateur drug dealer. We see this partnership evolve from a business arrangement into a toxic, dependent relationship that highlights the conflicting morals and desperations. This series explores themes such as drug abuse, greed, and corrupt morality. And this can definitely be seen in characters such as Jesse and Walt. There's a lot we can unpack from the show, but I really wanted to talk about Jesse's biggest regret from addiction. What is it? What themes does the show go through to explain it? And what can we learn from it? There's just one scene that beautifully and effectively conveys Jesse's biggest regret from addiction, and that is the wooden box scene. In this scene, he finds himself in an Alcohol Anonymous meeting. The mentor there asks him,
"If you had the chance to do anything you wanted, what would you do?"
Jesse initially brushes off the question, but later states that he'd want to make something. Working with his hands is ideal. He elaborates and explains how he took a woodworking class for school, and that there was a semester where he had to build a box for a project. Jesse initially scraps through to make a box so he can skip classes for the rest of the semester. After creating a poor box and handing it to the teacher asks him,
"Is that the best you can do?"
At first, Jesse was ready to say yes and keep it pushing, but this question conflicted him. He doesn't know if it's the way the teacher said it, but it made Jesse be really honest about if that was the best he could do. And so Jesse said,
"Yeah, man, I can do better."
He then starts making the box by scratch. Then he made another one and improved the box through each iteration. And by the end of the semester, he'd reached his 5th box. And he was proud about what he made. He's proud about the type of wood he used, the techniques he used to align the box and make it as smooth as possible. He's proud of the amount of time he put into this box and its results. In his words,
"It was perfect."
The mentor then asks him,
"What happened to the box?"
At first, Jesse says to him that he gave it to his mom, but quickly filled with regret, he says,
"The university?"
I didn't give the box to my mom. I traded it for an ounce of weed.
This scene represents how a loss of time is the result of an addiction. Initially, he wanted to rush the woodworking process so he can go smoke with his friends. In that story though, he ends up finding his potential in woodworking. But how easy would it have been to talk to his mentor when he asked if that was the best he could do and just say yes it is and then go smoke and continue to feed that addiction? Yes, in that moment he decided to go with the right path, but seeing the end of the story you can tell that it didn't end well. We don't realize it in the moment, but these addictions don't just keep us prisoners to the pleasures of this world. They also take time away from us, time that can be used to build us up. Moments of discovery, self-growth, moments to learn, to develop skills and abilities. This scene also shows how addictions can go so deep and so far that we kind of forget what really gave us joy in this life. You see the joy in Jesse's eyes when he's reminiscing about that story. He probably hasn't thought about that story in a long time. He goes into details about the skill and the techniques he put in because the work that he put in gave him joy. And that box is a representation of the amount of time and energy he put into it. So it's a shame to hear, and Jesse also felt that shame in the way that he said this, but to then admit that he had given that box just for an ounce of weed is kind of him giving away that time, energy, and potential that is within that box just away for his addiction. The series finale shows Jesse again reminiscing about this story. And after the scene of him reminiscing, it then cuts to him then being kind of chained up while he's making drugs. This represents how much divergence can come from your true path and whatever path your addictions may lead you to. It's easy to only look at this from the lens of someone in AA. But we all have addictions in this life. We already know the impacts that addictions can have on your brain, your self-worth, and your productivity. There might not be too much of a fixation in how addictions can take time away from us. How many opportunities and abilities are you missing out on because of these addictions? What growth or discovery is waiting for you if you deny these pleasures? People always talk about overcoming addictions to get their life back together, to improve their family relationships, or to take care of their health, mental or physical. But it all boils down to time. What you really want is the right headspace and time. This video is just a reminder of why we want to kill our addictions. We want to kill it so that we can get our time back, and then we can utilize that time to then build ourselves back up.